Hi, my name is JD Banks. I am the marketing specialist at Black Bearcat Press. What I do, I'm going to actually tell you a little bit about my process, and I'm going to show you a few examples from past projects and current projects. So, a lot of my past projects include flyers for History and Heritage Months and logos, as well as t shirt designs, and pretty much anything else you can think of when it comes down to marketing materials. I'll just show you a few that I have here. So this one right here is part of the LGBTQIA plus History Month. And so because a lot of times a rainbow is what's used for anything LGBTQIA plus related, I use a play on it in each event as well as in the logo. The logo, a lot of times I have to ask my clients who the audience is. So if it's for high school students, it's different than college students, than for community members or folks in the community, administrators, people who have disability. I always have to be very mindful of that. And so in this case, if you notice I had a logo, I actually created and sketched a few different logos trying to capture exactly what the client wanted. And I usually send these drawings and sketches to the client, and they tell me which one they like, or they circle it, and then they give me their suggestions. And from there, I created in the logo, anyways, in InDesign and Illustrator in the flyer as well. Another History and Heritage Month was the Latinx and Chicanx Heritage Month. So this is a flyer, as well as the Philippines American Heritage Month. And so I actually end up going through different books for creating those images because I wanted to be historically and culturally accurate. So in some cases, I use language books such as this intermediate Tagalog book, and I actually studied Tagalog, so I know a lot about the language part of it and historical aspects of Filipino culture, as well as things like this. So part of my journey into research is that I do have a fine arts bachelor's degree, and a lot of the stuff that we were required to do for our projects included going out to museums, looking up books, going through databases, writing essays about all of these historical and past figures in art. So what came out of it was learning how to research and find more precise and accurate markers for culture and in history. And then I have another, well, these are two flyers, but they're for the same events. Originally, I really wanted a student to design these flyers, but we had zero time. I was a co-advisor for the Japanese club at the time. And so I created these flyers, and one's for the outdoor events and one's for the indoor events of the same day. And if you notice, there's a circle here and there's a little circle here. So it's a play on the Japanese flag. I actually lived in Japan for 5 years, so I understand a lot of the language and reading and writing. So I actually have this book here, and it's based off of woodblock prints by Utagawa Hiroshige, one of my favorite Japanese artists. And it's in Japanese, so sometimes I take cultural materials that are from the society and in its language, so that I can be, again, accurate and precise when it comes down to depicting anything from that culture. On top of sketching and identifying just the things that clients want, and then looking at the history and the research for that culture and language, we also have a lot of feedback, like a feedback loop between the client and myself. And so if there's something that maybe it could depict image better, or sometimes some folks will give me something that I have to remind them that when someone looks at this might be more stereotypical than it is more appealing for that flyer. So I'm very mindful of that, and so I do ask the client if that's okay. Another thing that we're working on right now is a Blubber Island book by Guillermo Galvan. So this is the second edition, and this is a self-published book. So what we do is we prep the book, and so we also do book editing, but my side, we're looking at the formatting of the book, so it looks very professional. as well as the book cover. So even though I did not draw this cover, I did ask Guillermo to provide a drawing, and then I would create the text and the feeling around it based off of the ideas of the textbooks, or this book. Sorry, not textbook. I wish it was. Part of this includes creating a marketing campaign, and especially using a self-publishing platform, it's a little tougher. But we do know who our audience is. We do know who would buy this, and we made it to where it looks professional, it's eye-catching, and it's still in line with what the client wants. So that's how I create culturally competent materials, and my thoughts on creating culturally competent materials and books and whatnot. If you have any questions, don't forget to go to our contact us page. We can give you quotes. We can provide any other information you'd like to know. If you have questions, please let me know. I do more of the marketing side, but I can answer questions about the editing side. My name is JD Banks, and thank you for watching Black Bearcat Press's how I do my culturally competent marketing materials. Bye.